Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Lynn and today I have the Cat Scrappiness Pawsome Dogs re-release. And really what happened was when Pawsome Dogs first released, there was a little bit of a shipping delay with the dies that are a part of this collection. And rather than hold everything up, Cat decided to release the stamps and the 2 paper pads first. And now that we have the dies, we can sort of relaunch and show you the entire collection. Let me first show you, in case you're already familiar or you need a recap of the what was already released. So we have some awesome stamp sets, 3 4x6 stamp sets, all puppy themed. This one is actually great for cats and dogs, and it's sad that we occasionally will need a pet sympathy card, and this is a wonderful stamp set for whenever you do need such a card. But there are actually some elements here that I think are just beautiful and can be used outside of a sympathy card. Like this bridge I think is lovely. It's meant to be a rainbow bridge, which is the name of the stamp set, so you could color this in rainbow colors, but it could just always also be a wood bridge. So you don't have to necessarily only use it for sympathy cards, but you do get some really lovely pet sympathy sentiments. For example, so very sorry for your loss, for the loss of your faithful friend. Our faithful friends leave paw prints on our hearts. Pets may leave our arms, but they will never leave our hearts. Don't be sad. I'll be waiting for you at the Rainbow Bridge with sympathy forever in our hearts. But this love sentiment you could just use on any occasion, as well as the paw print designs. But you do get your puppy and your little kitty with their angel wings. So beautiful stamp set. Then we have this one, which features quite a few different dogs in different positions, and I love that, you know, they're facing each other too, so you can include more than one on a single card and have it feel like they are interacting with each other. And then we have some accessories too, so like a little bag of doggy treats, dog bone, a couple balls, and dog bowl with some food in there. So we have some images and then we have some sentiments. These are really, really funny. So we have, I like big bones and I cannot lie. You had me at woof, dogs, because people suck. It was me. I let the dogs out. But then you also have things like, you're Pawsome, I choose you. Dogs are my favorite people. My dog thinks I'm cool. So really, really lovely sentiments. And then we also had 2 different paper pads, and they are called Pawsome Boy and Pawsome Girl. So really, really wonderful. These are nice. These are 6x8, and it may seem like an unusual size that you don't see often, but I quite prefer these because I do sometimes make 5x7 cards. So to get 6x8 means I can actually get a full mat with, you know, just a little bit of the card base showing or even none of the card base showing. So really, really love that because you can't do that with a 6x6. And as well, the size card that I make most often are USA 2 size cards, which are 4¼ by 5½, but I often cut my mats to 4 inches by 5¼ And so from one sheet, if the print is one that you can use landscape or portrait, this is 8 inches wide, so I can cut, and 6 inches this way, so I can cut off a little bit here to get 5 1/4, and then cut it in half and get 2 panels, 2 matte layers for my USA 2 size cards. So I really quite like this size of paper pad. Really, really nice. And especially since I do make a lot of USA 2 size cards, so it's nice to be able to get two cards from each print. Can't do it for all of them though. Well, actually you could. It just depends if you're making a landscape or a portrait style card. So Pawsome dogs, and you'll see some of the same patterns exactly, or just in a different colorway between the two. So if you pick up the two, both paper pads, you really aren't going to get a ton of repeat. They are double-sided. So really, really lovely. You don't have to necessarily choose because you'll get 2 sheets in each of the designs. So if you needed to use, let's say you're making multiple cards in the same design and you needed both sheets, you do have 2. Or if you just want more variety, you can use the front or the back. Nothing goes to waste. So, so I'll go ahead and continue to flip through. I'll show you each of the unique designs. Really, really lovely that there are different patterns, different size or scale of the print, and then some that are just more general purpose, like this zigzag one that isn't very strongly themed pets, so you can really use that for anything. Same with the polka dot prints. So really, really lovely colorway also. And I love this too. Also very, very easy to use. Also great for if you're mixing and matching papers within the set. Obviously, you can see the colors really well coordinated, but sometimes it's nice to mix maybe a smaller print with something larger, or something that's got a geometric pattern with something that has a print. That way each paper looks a little bit, kind of stands out from the rest, and then it doesn't all just sort of meld into one pattern. So really great that. And let me quickly flip through Pawsome Girl. So you'll see some of the same designs, slightly different in different colorways. Here's that zigzag, but instead of the blue, we have it in pink. This one I think is the same, but the back is different. So instead of the blue kind of flood background, we have the pink. And then we have our polka dot and our paw print. Really, really lovely. And these are a really nice layering weight. If I had to guess, I would put it at maybe 65, maybe 80 pound. Does have a slight coating, so really that nice sort of kind of semi-gloss shine, which is really lovely. And just has a really nice finish on it, and ultra smooth. Alright, so there's our 2 paper pads. Then, so that was what previously released. I think it was back in August. So now we actually have the dies. So we have coordinating dies for the 3 stamp sets. So here's the Rainbow Bridge coordinating die set, which cuts out the images that you see here, but it also cuts out the sentiments too, which is really, really nice. So wonderful to have that option. So we have now the coordinating die for Rainbow Bridge. We have the coordinating die set for the Pawsome Dogs stamp set. So all of the images now have a coordinating die to cut them out. We also have the coordinating die set for the Pawsome Dogs sentiment stamp set. So you can die cut all of these sentiments too. Really have been loving the option of die cutting because these are a pretty close cut. So they'll just leave that little bit of a white border or whatever color cardstock you're stamping onto, just a little bit of that border outside of the print. So really awesome to have that. Especially since with a sentiment like this, you can't really use your brother's scan and cut to cut this out unless you hand draw like a pencil line so that it can pick up a like one solid border all the way around. So sometimes with stamped images, they work really well with your scan and cut, but with sentiments, you know, not so much. So besides the coordinating dies, we do get some standalone dies in this set. So the first, this one's so cute. This is a backdrop die and it's USA 2 in size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's got some lovely detailing. So you can see that there's the stitch border detailing all the way around, and then you get the stitched paw print and heart design. So really lovely that, and that will cut out your panel and add all of this lovely stitch detailing all in one go. So really lovely. I've already sort of started crafting with these two die sets. So this one I've even already detabbed. So the dies are tabbed, you'll have to separate them. This one is in the doghouse, and it lets you build up a doghouse, fire hydrant, and then you get some extras as well. So you get a little nameplate for the top of your house here. You get a little tennis ball, a little poo pile, and then you get a couple of different versions of paw prints. So this one has that lovely stitch detailing that is sort of similar to the backdrop plate, and it does have an outside cutting edge, but then you have these, and then you get that in 2 sizes, but then you have these 2 dies that just cut out the paw pads. And you can use that in 2 ways. You can use the positive pieces that fall out from that die cut and then layer them onto this solid one. Or you can cut into your card and layer another color of cardstock behind that, so that you can see whatever the underlayer is through these open areas. So really nice and versatile. You can use those, the combination of those in a couple different ways. And then we even have a little dog bowl here with some food that you can put into the bowl. So really lovely. That's the in the doghouse. And then we have a Build-A-Dog die set that has 3 different shaped heads that you can use to build your dog. They all share the same body, but then you have different options for, here's another option for ears, which you can put onto this head here. Then there's the little front legs. There's different accents for the like if you wanted to put maybe a stripe of different color on the head of the dog. There's a little tail, and in fact, you know, this you could even, it's the ears for dogs that have more kind of floppy ears, but you could use this for a tail too, I think. At the end of the day, these are just shapes, so you can kind of use them how they were designed to be used, or come up with creative other ways to use them. So that's the Build-A-Dog die set. So really fun collection. Now it's complete, now that we have the dies. And so when I craft with these goodies, I will be sure to link to at least one of those project videos at the end of this one if I can remember. But if I don't manage to remember, you can always find all of my videos where I craft with Cat Scrappiness products in my Cat Scrappiness playlist. So that would be the place to go if you ever want to check out any of my Cat Scrappiness projects. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye!